blocked in by the officers and barricades?
No.
There are barricades at these streets we can see. Would that be fair to say?
No.
So it's not fair to say that there's barricades at these streets?
It's fair to say that there's barricades at the streets.
So essentially, if someone was leaving the parade route, can they just go right through the barricades?
Based on the previous videos that we just were shown.
Not based on the previous.
This witness here is doing an amazing job and make him look like a fool. Amazing.
His videos. If someone
I must say,
leaving,
all of the witnesses so far have been amazing. Every last witness. They held it together. The state did a good job preparing them for what they gonna expect in trial. They were expecting him to. They knew what they were expecting when they went in. They were all prepared.
the parade route, can they just go down these streets that are barricaded? Can they just drive right out of there?
Yes, the videos
How
show that.
How when it's barricaded?
As the video we
For this
were
cop,
shown
for this police officer, if you're ever listening, you did a hell of a job. A hell of a job.
earlier, the vehicle went right through the
Hold on,
barricade.
you asked the question, you have to let him answer that. He's giving you the reason. You asked him how. He's explaining it.
There's plenty of ways to get off the parade route. You can stop after being given lawful orders by officers, and they could have directed you off the
Yes, the GOAT
parade route in a
witness.
safe manner. You could have stopped the vehicle at any point, or you could have driven through plastic barricades like you did at Northwest Avenue, where I was located. So yes, you can drive through the plastic barricades.
You refer to as who?
Darrell Brooks, you.
Darrell Brooks, you.
Person that's talking.
The you stated that you couldn't see past this building here, which you said is the Wisconsin house. Would that be fair to say?
Well, that's a compound question, so you need to rephrase that, sir.
You state clear this right there.
Please? Is that a please?
Did you say that?
Yes, I did.
So it would be fair to say you also couldn't see what was happening along the parade route on Main Street. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
So it would be also fair to say that everything that you knew up until that point came over the radio and you didn't have firsthand knowledge.
That is correct.
Stated that after a few minutes of hearing these, I guess, radio reports, you said after a few minutes, you noticed something was going on. Do you recall from the reports how long this vehicle traveled along the parade route? An estimate of the time that it traveled down the parade route?
I do not know how long the vehicle was on the parade route for. If I had to estimate, I would estimate approximately 1 to 2.5 minutes. 2 minutes, maybe.
Would you say that it's fair to say that that's relatively a short amount of time?
I would agree with that.
So what do you mean by after a few minutes, you noticed something was going on?
Because after a few minutes, what I meant by that was the initial call for service at the boat launch, or for that domestic fight in Frame Park. From that time frame, from when squads were responding to there to the time that I had shots fired, that is what I mean by a few minutes. So you have to take into account the time for squads responding to that call. Correct.
Any idea why they were not standing up?
Yes, I do.
What would be the reason?
It was very windy that day, so when they were standing up how they normally are, they kept on blowing across the street. So we tilted them on their sides so they wouldn't get blown across the road, and they would still stay up there and block traffic.
They would be able to block traffic by laying down?
Yes, they serve the same purpose.
but they would be able to block traffic by laying down.
I guess I don't understand what your question is here.
Would it be much more easier to see them if they were facing upright than laying down?
I think the height difference between them laying down and being upright is probably quite minuscule, because as you see, the legs that are now up in the air are approximately the same height as what the bar would be if they were standing up how they normally are.
And you come to that conclusion how?
Based on my training experience after deploying barricades on numerous events and working several parades in my work history.
So you would estimate that a barricade facing upright and a barricade laying down would be the same height.
Approximately.
It looks like you're firing your weapon right there. Would that be fair to say?
I do not know if I have pulled the trigger yet or not. I don't.
Listen to this. I don't know if I pulled the trigger or not. This was, man, listen, I was like, wow. Yeah, the rap video of him was very damning. If you need an encore, let me know.
I don't believe I have.
You were ready to fire at that point.
That's correct.
Do you recall what you were aiming for?
Yes, I do.
You stay for the record and for the jury.
You, Darrell Brooks.
You, Darrell Brooks. You, Darrell Brooks.
Again, you make reference to the you name. How did you come to that? Seeing as how you just testified to that you couldn't see anything before what you call the Wisconsin house. Would that be fair to say that you testified to that?
That's correct.
And you also stated that you learned additional information later on. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
So how could you determine at this time right now where we're looking at that you knew the suspect's name and the driver? Because you keep referring to you and then you saying the name. How did you have that information at this point that's paused right here that we're looking at?
I didn't say at that time I knew your name.
You referred to the name. Did you not?
That's correct.
How were you able to obtain the information about a name?
I did not know your name at the time I shot at you.
Who's the you were referring to?
Darrell Brooks.
Again, you say a name that you haven't answered how you came to that information. Were you told this?
Yes.